Hey everybody, it's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama, Sisters, Season 6, Episode 20, The Last Laugh. I better start laughing up in this one because this is crazy. I'm telling you right now, I already don't like the episode because it's starting with Danny being Danny up there tiptoeing in the house, wondering why Preston is still awake. Up, I thought you'd be asleep. And I like what Preston said. Did you think I'd be asleep or you wanted me to be asleep? And he was right about that. And he said, you got me waiting here all day talking about we'll talk when you get off from work. And so you're going to come in late so you don't have to talk? Oh, you want to do this now? He's like, damn right I want to do this now. She's like, oh, wait, excuse the hostility. Take out some of that hostility. He's like, I'm not hostile. I'm sitting here waiting for you. You don't come home. Well, I'm tired. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. What? Really, Danny? So in the morning, you know what's going to happen in the morning. She going to be too tired or I have to go to work. Tell me, can we talk about it later? I said, you know what? Danny is a piece of work. And she's going to regret the day she treated Preston like this. I'm telling y'all right now. Then it flips over to Fatima and Zach and the nosy neighbor, Miss Cheryl. And she's standing outside in her house coat talking about it's coming, the noise is coming from that apartment. I said, why they ain't show some flashing lights so we could see an ambulance? All we saw was a one medic up there coming out there. She said ambulances like there was a couple of them, I thought, out there. Anyhow, Zach and them go upstairs asking his little Michael okay, and get out of my damn house, get out of here, and all of this stuff from Heather. And some guy standing there smoking a cigarette, ain't giving a damn. She's smoking a cigarette. I don't remember ever seeing Heather smoking. So they both smoking cigarettes. And they're like, we just want to know if Michael's okay. He's fine. Now get out of my damn house. They don't know he fine. They ain't get to see him. Zach yelling, Michael, you okay? She's like, and you don't want to hear me cursing. Yeah, that's the biatch that hit your mother. And she yelling stuff. I was like, oh, MG, this girl is a piece of work. So the nosy neighbors looking through the door because now the cops come up and it's that same white cop and another cop. And I said, damn, is he the only cop in Atlanta? He does the hood and the suburbs. Anyhow, Heather said, I know it's that nosy biatch next door that called and she gave her Heather the finger. She gave her the finger twice. And then so Zach and them leave. The cops tell him to leave. And he said, isn't this your son? He said, yeah, we went over this before. So anyway, Zach and Fatima leave because there was no talking to her and being nice to Heather. Get downstairs, they talking to the nosy neighbor. The nosy neighbor's telling them, if she called me a biatch one more time, I'm going to beat that ass for you myself. She said, you ain't even got to pay me. She said, I'll do it for a pack of cigarettes because Zach was like, I'll pay you to do that. And Fatima's like, you cannot say that. You cannot say that. That's the lawyer in her. You cannot say that. You don't have to be a lawyer to know you cannot say that. You should not say that at all. That's what it is. And so Zach is like, nah, serious, just let me pay up. But I'm like, Zach, just do it the right way and listen to Fatima. So now we got Karen getting dressed in the morning, getting a call from Brian, talking about they ready to start. Do she have time to swing by and stuff? And she's like, yeah, okay, I could do that. That's great. She's happy about it. I ain't hear nobody ask about no damn money. That's for sure. And then he said, I happened to tell my wife about you being pregnant and we got all these clothes. She loaded up the truck with clothes, thought you might be able to use them. But if you don't want them, you don't have to. She said, oh, no, I'll take them. I was shocked that Karen said that. I'll be honest. You don't know this man where these damn clothes came from. That's something telling me he ain't got that wife he keep talking about with them 7 kids. I don't know why that's going through my head, but hopefully it's true. Anyway, then Karen decides to call Fatima and let her know about these clothes that this contractor has. And you think Zach would want any? First of all, that's scary. Fatima was like, who's this? And because Karen is showing her respect and calling Fatima and not calling Zach directly. What is her game plan? Why is Karen being nice? I would love to say that's, she got that nice streak in her, but it just seemed like there's some underlining something, like she needs that money to fix her salon. You think Zach would need any of these for his son? I don't want to grab a whole bunch of stuff and I don't need it. You just grab for yourself. What you worrying about them? They got money. They don't need no used clothes from nobody else. Something's up, y'all. Everybody who said it, I'm feeling it right now. So now it's morning in Danny's apartment and she's acting like Preston's making too much noise, waking her up. And she looks at her watch and see there's 2 hours before work. Honey, she was 2 hours early the day before. Now all of a sudden this 2 hours is too much for her. And the way she tried to flip that thing and turn it on Preston was impressive. She ain't ish. She really ain't. And she don't deserve somebody like Preston. Not for nothing. I'm sorry. But she's like, I'm not sleeping with other people. I'm not doing this. And I just met him. He's like, no disrespect, but you often sleep with people you just meet. I said, I was dying laughing. I thought it was so funny. And Preston was like, she said, including you. He's like, hey, we talking truth, right? We telling the truth. But it was funny how he told her to sit up in bed. Sit up while you talking to me, laying in the bed. I told y'all she was going to do that. I knew just what she was going to do. Pretend she was asleep so she don't have to talk to him. What is wrong with her? These people are supposed to be mature 30-something-year-olds, and you're acting like you're 12, Danny. You acting so immature. It's unbelievable to me. And she's sitting there going to try to turn this whole thing around on him, and you always want to leave. But I like when he said, F you, Danny. I said, oh, no, not Preston acting like here, brother. He was like, the problem is I've been too nice to your behind all the time. I've been too nice. I've been too this, I love you. And that's the sad part is I love you. No, he said, the thing is, I still love you. But the sad part is you'll never love me back. Oh, I'll never love you back. Oh, I'll never do this. He said, you already know. Oh, I already know. Oh, I already know. She's trying to play this. And, he's being sarcastic and she's acting like, oh, you want to leave? You want to do this? I was like, Danny. I am so done and disgusted with her. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Put it down in the comment section. But you know what? If that guy comes back, just like Preston said, you just said you wanted to make it work because I was convenient. I hope this other guy could be here and rescue you when that guy come and try to beat you behind again. I was like, oops, ooh. And since when Danny go to bed, come and wake up with a full face of makeup on? She been out all night at work, and then she go to that barbecue, and she still got a full face of makeup on, and nothing is smeared. Come on, y'all. Since when Danny wake up like that? So now we at Andy's penthouse, and she got on the cutest little yellow skirt with the black buttons. I could work that skirt. I can work with that. And if that yellow jacket I see hanging in that closet go with it, that's going to be a fierce outfit. So she gets a call from downstairs, and I don't know who it is. It's probably Karen. She's like, send her up. It got to be Karen or Sabrina. I don't know who it is. It's probably Karen because she need money to give that contractor. And then we have the phone ringing again, and it's Jordan. And I'm like, uh-oh. And Andy acted like she didn't even want to answer the damn phone. So Jordan is talking to her, and he says sorry, and she's like sorry about last night too, and I just hope you okay. And she asked about his sister and stuff like that, and he tells her that his sister cried herself to sleep all night, and that she wanted to talk to Andy and meet up with her because she has questions, and hopefully they'll fill the blanks. And he said, and maybe they'll help fill the blanks for you too. And she was like, oh, please, I don't need any more information right now. And he's like, can you believe it? Dude, what a slimy ass dude. And Andy was in the defense. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that on the phone. Why not? Why wouldn't you do it? Because you still want him back. You don't care. She probably happy that this is happening to Penelope. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know what other people feel. Y'all can put it down in the comment section. But I think Andy is glad, and I'm thinking Andy's hoping that Penelope would drop him so she could get him back. So anyway, Karen comes upstairs and opens a door. I don't know what room Andy's in that Karen had to open a door. We've never seen any closed doors or open doors really, except the bathroom. So anyway, the bedroom. But that looked like a different area in the bedroom. So anyway, though, Karen comes in, and she's saying she's there to check on her, but I knew she was there for the money. And but it's funny, it seemed like Andy lied to her when she said why it was Jordan on the phone. He called to apologize and check on me. That is not what he called for, really. He called for his sister. That's what he called for, Andy, but Andy's keeping secrets. And then Karen says something like, Andy saying she don't want to talk to him. I feel like running him over with my car. And Karen's like, the car that he gave you. And she said, you were in love with him. And Andy says, were? And she's like, oh my God, you're still in love with him? And Andy had the nerve to throw it back at Karen's face and said, you of all people should know about that. You can't just turn love off. So I guess she was referring to Zach or whatever. So anyway, bottom line, Karen tells Andy about the contract is there, and Andy pulls a check out of her empty pocketbook to do a scribble sign on it and say, yes, I got the email about you, the contractor's quote. And she gave her a check for the full amount. And Karen was like, oh, you could just write a check for this amount like that? And Andy's like, yeah. She said, and you could take your time, pay me back. I know you're not Danny. And Karen's like, that's a fact. But I promise to pay you back. And so they left. So now we have Sabrina coming over to Danny's house, and Danny's yelling, what is it? You left something? And Sabrina walks in and stuff. And Danny's going to sit there on that couch and lie and say he left per as usual, said it's over. He called me a whore. That man said, I did not call you a whore. And he didn't. And then every time he said something, Danny was like, okay. She didn't even care. She didn't try to fight it. She didn't try to defend herself. She didn't try to say, I really love you and want to make this work. She tried to flip this thing and put it on Preston. And that's the same thing she's doing here to Sabrina. Sabrina's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And Danny's like, oh, well, I don't care. Not a problem. It's like because she never wanted him. And for Sabrina to believe the BS that her friends tell her, how do y'all not know who your friends are? And when they saying BS, talking about as per usual, he's leaving, it's fine. He called me a whore. She's still saying that when that man never called her that at all. He is a respectful gentleman. And Danny, on the other hand, is not. She don't respect herself. Bottom line, she don't respect herself at all. And then Sabrina talking about they projecting. That's not Preston. Preston was not projecting. Preston was calling it as he sees it. And that was the truth about Danny. And what is it with these fake tears that Danny's crying? Was that her reality tears? And saying, Preston really called me out on my ish, and he was right. Meanwhile, Sabrina's, I'm so sorry. You need me to come back? I'm so sorry. But Sabrina's on her way to try to a meeting to see if she could get her job back. I'm curious to see if Maurice will get his back. And also something that was said that bothered me. Sabrina saying, forget Preston. And now you got this new hot guy you seeing. You sitting there going, she's seeing a new hot guy when she had a boyfriend at home, Sabrina. That line made no sense. And so Danny's asking her about Rich, and she's saying she spoke to Rich a couple of times, and Sabrina telling her, yeah, you should go out with Tony, and have lunch with him. She already been messing with him. That's why her relationship ain't working, you nincompoops. I don't know what the dumbbells, I don't know what to call them right now. Talking about, yeah, he's somebody who could listen to you. Preston always listened to her. Preston tried the hardest to listen to her, follow her ways, do things her way, follow her lead. He let her take the lead. How could she even say that? Now Fatima come down the steps with the cute little purple dress on, and she's talking to Zach, who didn't get any sleep last night, and he cooked breakfast, but he can't eat. She's telling him he needs to eat. He needs to get healthy. Getting himself sick is not going to help with Michael. She said that the attorney is talking to the judge now, in his chambers. And Zach is like, shouldn't we be there? And she's like, no, there's nothing we could do right now. And then he said, how do you do it? How do you put up with me with the Karen stuff and the baby stuff? She said, because I love you. He's like, I love you too and stuff. And then she said, speaking of Karen, she just called me and offered me something about the contract and offering me some clothes and toys and stuff. And he's like, really? When was this? Just now? Really? How'd she sound? Did she sound crazy? Is she okay? What's wrong with her? Fatima's like, that's stuff I've been asking people in a long time. He was like, let's just take one step at a time, because she'll switch up on us like a heartbeat. Because he said, do you think we're coming to a good place? And Fatima's like, and he's like, yeah, let's take one step at a time and just leave that offer as it is, just the offer. Because you don't know. She'll switch up with them 5 heads or something like that, they said. And that's so true. That's what we're all saying about Karen. So now Danny's at her car, and of course Tony comes running up on her and stuff, and he did talking, and they talk about a little bit about what happened that night before, and how they're dangerous together, him and her, because they got nobody could hold them back. They could just do whatever they want and stuff. No, you can't just do whatever you want in the world. And then they talk about how Gary's an a-hole or something like that, and he deserved what happened. And she asked how's Penelope, and he said she's not doing good, but her and Jordan are tight, so that's good. She's with him. And he asked Danny, did she have any siblings? That's the only thing we know about Danny, that she's an only child. But then he goes, he's sort of a only child. He's his mother's only child, which means his father got other kids somewhere. And then she talked about asked him what he does for a living, and then had the nerve to say, so you make good money, because he's the vice president of Maintain Airlines. She said, but I thought I saw you working account. And he said, I do. I like to get hands on. I can respect managers like that. He likes to know what everybody does and know how to do their jobs, which is important as a manager. And so then she is talking about, oh, you make good money. I said, girl, she's like you, because she's like you in a suit every day. So I was wondering what it was all about. And then he made a comment about, let's go back into work. Let's go get into work now before Yosemite Sam come up on you. I was like, why he got to be Yosemite Sam? He said, I don't want to get kicked in the butt by them cowboy boots or something like that. And and then he go, how did that go last night anyway? And she said, oh, I'm not going to talk about that with you. I said, how does he even know that she needed to talk to somebody? Danny's like, I don't get her. I don't get her at all. Anyway, I don't get him either, because she's with a man, but you here trying to get with her. Anyhow, that's not a good guy. That's not respectful at all. And the truth is, they talked about that snatcher van, and he said it used to be his father's van, and that's why he holds on to it. His father died, and so he keeps it. It helps him think about his dad all the time. And she said, oh, that's sweet. That's nice. But she felt like a idiot after, because she kept talking so bad about it. But he was like, no, I got 2 other cars at home, and that, he just likes driving that one. So wait till she find out about the kids, and she must know he has an ex-wife. So she's going to realize that the grass is not always greener on the other side. You might be able to smoke that grass, but it don't mean things are going to get better, baby. So now we got Karen meeting up with Brian the contractor. And I don't know about y'all, but something about him just ain't right. This is too much. He's just like, they're meeting. He gives her the bag of clothes. They're talking about, he's talking to her about, what is it? This other location that might be a nice fit for her salon. And the price is the same thing that she pays in rent to this other landlord who's an a-hole. And he described him, and she said, oh, you do know him, huh? But what was strange is he made a comment about her, don't she want more kids? He said, if I could have 50 more kids, I would. And I was like, what? That don't even make no sense. Who want 50 more kids? Karen's like, not me. She said, I'll just work on this one. She ain't even pop one out, and you asking her, do she want more kids and stuff? That was kind of weird to me. And then he offered to drive her over to the new location, to see if she want to check it out, because it might be a better place for her salon, and she could own the building. See, Tyler trying to get all of them to move up and grow in their positions and stuff like that. Maybe I can't wait to see one day when Danny could grow up and move up in her position. So Karen was saying, I'll follow you. And he's like, what, you don't trust me? And I'm like, dude, she don't know you. She don't know you. And I'm like, Karen, don't do it. Don't do it. And she said, like, what would your wife think? And I'm some strange woman in the car with you. He said, look, my wife ain't even thinking about me or paying attention to me. She's like, what does that mean? He said, oh, no, not like that. I don't know what he was talking about. Y'all put it down in the comment section what he mean like that. But he claims it means that his wife knows he'll never cheat on her. And I was like, is there something wrong with his wife? There's something not right with this guy. I don't know what it is. But Karen's like, okay, he takes the clothes. I thought he had like 2 jumbo bags full of stuff. He said toys and clothes. If there's toys and clothes in that bag, that'd be surprising. So he puts it in her car, and she gets in the car with him. But y'all, I had to say something, because when I saw her get out the car, she had the white boots on. I saw the white boots soon as she got out the car. But I was waiting. And they showed them again as she got in the car with them white boots, y'all. And I know somebody gonna say something about it in one of these comment sections, and one of us comment creators comment section. I know it's gonna be mentioned. And then it ends with Hayden coming out of the house with Tamara, and they all lovey-dovey, and Gary comes up there with an envelope, and he's being a rude ass, doesn't want to talk to Tamara hardly, and she's like, hey, and he's being disrespectful and stuff. I was like, wow. And she's like, I love you, I'll see you when you get back, and she kissed him and all this stuff, and he's like, read this. Because he needs to talk to her in private, read this. And he opens the envelope. He's like, what? Yeah, she's a plant by Fatima because she works for Fatima's cousin. Just because she works for Fatima's cousin don't mean she's a plant by Fatima. And he supposedly had a private eye on her. You couldn't even find her, Gary. If you couldn't find her, how all of a sudden you got this information? You just coming up in there trying to read. He kept saying, Hayden kept saying, you bitter, dude. You're really bitter. And I was like, damn, Gary, really? That's how you are? That's who you are? And that's who Andy feel like she's in love with? She's an idiot too. I'm sorry, y'all, but I calls it as I sees it. So y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And I will see you all in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.